What is up, you guys? I'm so excited to do this video. This has been something that I've wanted to do for so long, as per so many requests that I see on this channel. Now, before I jump into any of this, if you like this type of thing of like motivation, talking about books and goal setting and all that type of stuff, I actually have a second channel and not enough people know about it because I hear almost daily on my Instagram page, you have a second YouTube channel? Yes, I do. And it's mostly about motivation and stuff like that. And all of those videos, the audio is also on my podcast. So there is tons of other resources where I can nerd out about these types of things with you. But what I'm going to go over today is basically my ultimate reading list, like all of the books on my reading list that I've gone through over the years that are each for a specific category. So we're gonna go over things like time management, mindset, goal setting, leadership, nutrition, health, basically every category. We're even gonna go over the nerdy fiction books that I read. Yes, I started reading fictional books. So I've got what is left of my iced coffee. I figured I would sit down with you guys and go through not only these books, but a ton of the books on my reading list because most of them are on my phone. So I have shared this before. I am obsessed with Audible. Audible is something that is literally featured in almost all of my videos, all my planning videos, my morning routines. Audible is the OG. So thank you to Audible once again for sponsoring this video. And I always feature them because I am a paying customer of Audible. I have been for years now. I love, love, love them. And what I wanted to do was go through today and show you my wish list on my Audible of the books that I'm going to be reading. So if you wanted to read them with me, stay through to the end and we will set our reading goals together, I guess, like our reading list for next month. And I wanted to share all those books with you. So the reason that I partnered with Audible is there's something in it for you guys. I love being able to give you guys a little something for free. So if you text Angie Belmar, just my name, to 500-500, you get 1 month for free, or you can simply just go to audible.com/Angie Belmar and get your first month for free with Audible. So obviously Audible is the king of audiobooks. So one thing that I like to do is any book that I purchase on hardcover form, I usually more often than not will get the audio form on Audible. The other thing is with your membership, you don't just get the audiobook, you actually also get access to the entire library. So the members library is ultimately the Plus catalog where you have access to podcasts as well as Audible originals. And there's some awesome Audible originals that totally mesh within these categories I'm about to share with you, as well as the authors I know from some of these books do the Audible originals, which is sweet. So let's jump into all of the lists. It's going to be down and dirty. I'm going to share with you probably 2 to 3 books per category. And if I miss category, comment down below and we can do this video in the future and kind of make it like a series. All right, let's do this. All right, so the first category that I have is time management. So let me start just taking down my tower of books here. One of my favorite books ever for time management is The 12-Week Year. This comes in audio form. This is the book that I have listened to the most on Audible. Hands down. I have probably listened to it more than 7 times through. And the cool thing about Audible, by the way, you can listen to things at like 2.5 times the speed. You can listen to it to even faster than that. So if you want to plow through the book faster, but this is a great book to listen to at a little bit faster speed because the author reads it a bit slow. But this is another thing that I love, the workbook that goes with the 12-week year. It's great for time management. So if we're talking time management and you need help with that and scheduling your day, 12-week year. The other thing that I absolutely love for time management and the best book I think that I've ever read is Miracle Morning. Now, the cool thing about Miracle Morning is there is so many different versions of the Miracle Morning that can fit your own life. There's Miracle Morning, the original. There's Miracle Morning for entrepreneurs. There's Miracle Morning for parents. There's Miracle Morning for network marketers. It's so cool. So those would be my top 2 books for time management, hands down. Now, if you have suggestions to any of these categories, I want to hear them. This is like a participation type of video. So definitely comment down below if you have suggestions on any of the categories. So time management, tell me down below. Okay, the second category, let's talk about motivation. Basically, the want and the desire to start things, to do the things, but you're just not feeling like you're going and you just need that kick in the butt. I've got you. 2 of my favorites are You're a Badass. Now, this is the second version of You're a Badass. The original You're a Badass is actually orange. This one is You're a Badass at Making Money, which we're gonna talk about in a second. But the Jen Sincero You're a Badass, so good, comes in audio form on Audible. This was one of the first books I read whenever I started my business. Punch Fear in the Face, Just Start. It's actually Punch Fear in the Face, Escape Average, Do Work That Matters, Start. I always say just start, it's start. Jon Acuff. If you wanna laugh, get this book. The audio form, and it's him that reads it, it's so freaking good. This is like a used and abused book. It's so good. I love it. So if you need a swift kick in the butt, to get after your goals, I would say You're a Badass or Start by Jon Acuff. So good. Now, on that note, similar category, but not really. If you need to gut check yourself in terms of what the heck is going on inside your head and the way that you speak to yourself, your mindset, what you're attracting to yourself, your positivity, I am currently reading Jon Acuff's new book. No, that's a lie. Not reading, listening to on Audible. I need to get the hardcover. So one thing I usually do is if the audiobook is really good, then I get the hardcover. If the hardcover is really good and I want someone to read it to me, like the author, I love whenever it's the author. I usually get the audio version. So I am listening to right now by Jon Acuff, his Soundtracks book. So, so good. Now the other one that I was going to say is The Secret, which I've talked about in a couple of recent videos, but by the same author, Rhonda Byrne. This book like changed my world. So you can still see my little bookmark in here. This is called The Magic. Basically on the law of attraction, so good, and gratitude, so, so good. If you need to just gut check yourself. So I had The Secret, The Magic, and Soundtracks under mindset and positivity. Now I knew that someone was probably gonna ask this, and I've dealt with anxiety in the past, and one thing that really helped me with anxiousness was the 5-second rule. So that's one that I have on here. So Mel Robbins actually has Audible originals on Audible as well, and this, I'm pretty sure she's the person that narrates the audiobook of this. So whether you want to read it or listen to the audiobook or both, one thing that I like to do is literally sit with my book if I'm feeling lazy and I turn on the audiobook and it's kind of like the author's just reading to me. And then I go through and I like take notes, kind of like I'm in class. It requires a lot less focus. So if you struggle with that, that's something that I do. And I just love having both. I'm a very visual person, so sometimes I need to take notes in the actual book. So if you struggle with anxiety, that can help a ton. This literally, if you struggle with flying anxiety, P.S. I have a video on it, but she talks about it and it helped me a lot. So simple, but so good. And then the other book, which I don't actually own the hardcover, it's in my Audible, it's called Calm the F Down, and it's by Sarah Knight. And she has a bunch of books that are actually on my reading list, like my future reading list. So hers is Calm the F Down. She has Get Your Ish Together, The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving an F. She has basically swear words in all of her titles, which is such a trend right now, I think. I don't know why, but her book is really, really good, and it's literally about anxiety, so super good. So if you struggle with anxiousness or any feelings of anxiety, 5-second rule, or Sarah Knight's Calm the F Down, so, so good. Now, I wanted to talk about if you want to read something that can help with health, nutrition, fitness, just looking and feeling good, but you want like a really good book and not just a fad diet, hi, you could have Carl Belmar read to you. Hello, everybody. Why are you here? You got to cover your little parts. Do you want to sit on the poof and just watch? There you go. Sit. You're a part of it now. You guys can follow Carl on Instagram. You have more followers than most people. Do you realize that? And you don't do anything. I do all the work. So health. These two books I absolutely love, and there is also the audio form. So Kate Hudson's Pretty Happy. I love this book. She narrates it, and her principles on life are just, and health are just so spot on, and it just makes logical sense. It's not a fad diet. It's not some crash diet or weird thing that you see online. It's just logical sense. And then on that note, exact same philosophies. One of the most beautiful, like both women are timeless beauties of just pictures of health. So to me, Cameron Diaz's book, so Body Book, and then this is Longevity. So good. And again, no fad crash diets, just logical, sensical principles about health, your body, especially for females, obviously super, super good. So Pretty Happy. I think is it Pretty Healthy or Pretty Happy? You know what? I think she has a couple different ones. Healthy Ways to Love Your Body. I'm pretty sure I have another one called Pretty Healthy. She has multiple ones. So good. Love her. Okay, leadership. I'm literally looking at one of my leadership books all the way up there, and I don't feel like climbing all the way up there. I need one of those ladders, like a cool library ladder. So The Dichotomy of Leadership by Jocko Willink is up on that top shelf up there. That is one of my favorite leadership books. If you have a business and you're trying to lead a team of people, such a good book. But my personal fave, also because it's so little, is How Successful People Lead. I have bought this book for so many people on my team, so many of my coaches. It is the tiniest little book, but it makes so much dang sense. I freaking love it. And this is by John C. Maxwell, one of my favorite authors. Love, 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 love. So leadership. Okay, let's talk social media. If you guys want the Angie version, the condensed version of all the books that I've read on social media and kind of condensed into like a pretty pink little package, I have an ebook for you guys. It has existed for a while, I just don't talk about it enough, and the other day I realized that I should probably talk about it a little bit more. So it's called Build a Content Machine. It has its own Instagram page. I post up tips on that page, but the ebook itself is available on my website and is literally all of my tools and tips as to how I've grown my social media. So go check that out. On the note of social media, you guys know I love a good workbook. These are all workbooks back here, but my favorite workbooks currently are, well, the new ones that I just got. I got Feel Your Best, so cute. And there's like all these different colored categories for different areas of life. Cute, right? And then this, I just went upstairs and grabbed it. This is a goal setting workbook. It's called You Goal Girl. And I have not dove into it yet. And it looks really cute. I love good workbooks. Whenever I find a good workbook, I love sharing it. So 2 great workbooks, and if you need to be able to write things through, obviously the 12-week year workbook, I have 3 of them. So that is an exceptional workbook as well. Okay, a daily read. What I mean by this is something that you don't necessarily feel like you have to plow through. You can just go like this and read one random page. Not many books can you do that. This is such a good book and has been recommended by so many people that I follow. It's called The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday, right? Yeah. And what it is a daily either meditation, some words of wisdom on perseverance and the art of living. And it's not long at all. It's like 1 page. So good. And you can actually just pick up, like you can go to today's date. So let's say that what day are we? I don't even know. We're in May. So you can go to May. And you could go to like May 20th, quality over quantity. And then there's like philosophies on that, just 1 little page. So that's a really cool way to be able to have a little bit of growth every single day without feeling overwhelmed by a full book. I needed a category of like the OGs, just the book that you need to read in your life. This one is same, Used and Abused. I think this was my dad that gave this to me. So the other one that you know what? My dad needs honorable mentions. My dad watches my channel. Hi, Dad. He'll be very proud. He brought me another one, and it's upstairs. And it is Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Read that. But this one as well. So those would be the 2 OGs that you absolutely, and they are both in audio form. This is Awaken the Giant Within with Tony Robbins. Tony's voice is just soothing. And you know what? These are the reasons why I listen to audiobooks, because this is huge. This is a massive book, but the audio version is so good. And he has a new one called Unleash the Power Within, which is UPW, which is his event and all that. So good. Tony Robbins is the OG. Obviously, so is Dale Carnegie. Okay, I wanted to nerd out with you guys really quickly before we go into my future reading list, but I get asked a lot when I'm sitting out by the pool in the backyard, what are you reading? Let's talk about fiction books really quickly, because sometimes, you know what I've found is I want to read, but I don't feel like watching TV, but I want to just unplug without being my face in a screen. And sometimes you just, you want to escape reality, but you don't really feel like having a moment of growth. You just want to read some trash. So I'm here for you for that. Now, I personally love, and you guys can judge me, some of you are going to be like, yes, girl, and some of you are going to be like, you're crazy. I really like a sexy, but a little bit gruesome, scary-ish. I'm not looking for horror. I'm not looking for Stephen King horror stuff, but sexy with a twist of crazy. Yeah, that's how I would describe it. Book, fictional book. So I will share my favorites with you. I read The Guest List last summer. Absolutely love that. That was just the right amount of like suspense. It was really interesting because every single chapter is narrated by a different character in the book. So super interesting. So that's The Guest List. I have no idea who the author is. It's escaping me right now, but super, super good. This book I actually lost, had to purchase it again, which is why this is a used book. I bought it from a used bookstore because I was so desperate. This is by Kate White. It's called The Secrets You Keep. This is 17 Shades of Messed Up. It takes a while to get going, but it is straight. It's good. It is so good. Now, would I listen to an audio version of a fictional book? I don't know. I have never done that. You absolutely can. Those are on Audible as well. But let's go through my Audible, and I want to tell you guys what's on my list. So you can literally go right on your main page. So right now I have 11 credits to spend. So whenever you have an account with Audible, you get credits every single month. So I have credits to take off. One category that I would like to touch on, and maybe you guys can help me with this category. I want a category of saying yes to the things that I love and finding a way to say no to the things that I don't want to do and just creating boundaries within my life. I always try and think of topics that I want to learn on. So I found two, one by Sarah Knight, that same girl that wrote the anxiety book. It's called F No, How to Stop Saying Yes When You Can't, You Shouldn't, or You Just Don't Want to. And then there's another one by Damon, oh my gosh, I cannot say his last name, but it's called The Art of Saying No. So I found those two. And there's another book that was suggested by my friend Mindy who said that it was so good, called Grit. I definitely want to read that. And you guys should go take your grit score. If you just Google my grit score, and you can see how much grit you have, which basically how much like oomph, how much willpower you have. And the other book on my reading list is The 12 Rules for Life by Jordan B. Peterson. I've heard good things. I'm currently listening to soundtracks. I have 3 hours left on soundtracks, and it's so good, by John Acuff. Absolutely love it. So on here, I also have Unleash the Power Within, the one I was telling you guys about. I have Everything is Figure-Outable by Marie Forleo. The Ride of a Lifetime by Bob Iger. That is such a good book, by the way. Very Disney-esque. Such good stuff. Oh my gosh, now I'm like obsessed with plowing through these. So if you guys have suggestions for me, or if there would be another category that you want to go through in a future video, I am happy to do that. But I love these sit down videos and just sharing all the things with you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Definitely text that code. The code is just my name, Angie Belmar, to 500-500, or just go to audible.com/Angie Belmar. I'll leave the link down below. I'll leave all the information down below. You can just click that and get your first month for free and be on your listening to a better, happier person. And I just feel like it's such a great way. It's very summery and just a great way to spend your summer, you know, outside, sunshine, listening to a great book. And let me know if you guys pick up one of these many. Now I have to go put all these books away. I plowed my entire area for you guys. And if you guys want to see an office tour, definitely let me know. And I hope you enjoyed little Carl's visit. I hope you guys enjoy these types of videos. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you're subscribed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, dudes.